Kevin, I'm sitting there watching SmackDown, thinking, okay, this contract signing, how good can it be? It's LA Knight, it's Roman Reigns. What are they going to do that we haven't seen? Like, the match is predictable, what have you. And what we watched for the next 15 minutes was LA Knight, one, proving that he's a justified, deserving main eventer, and two, Roman Reigns, Joanna Y, our favorite babysitter, getting cooked. Just cooked. Kevin, how you doing, pal? And what were your thoughts on the segment?
I love that. You rephrased that. Joanna Wai getting cooked. I don't know. I don't think it was like a cooking of Joanna Wai per se. But I want to say this, though. I was thoroughly impressed with the segment. LA Knight was put on the same level as Roman Reigns, which is not often the case with Roman Reigns competitors. Throughout the past like 3 or so years that he's been WWE champion, as LA Knight said. Maybe they're finally getting rid of the Universal Championship name. One can only hope that if LA Knight wins, we get the WWE title back. JBL, please. So now, with that being said, like we saw people like Cesaro and your boy Fergie and Ricochet and countless other top shelf competitors challenge Roman Reigns throughout his 3-year run. And, like, it would be like this. The segment would go this way. Cesaro would walk out, do his plain Jane entrance, looking like Jason Statham. Then Paul Heyman would cook him for 2.5 minutes, and he'd be like, all right, here, Roman, get him. And then Roman would cook him for 6 minutes, and it would be like, why is this guy even facing Roman Reigns at a pay-per-view? He's clearly not worthy. Roman doesn't take him serious. WWE doesn't take him serious. So, we don't have that with LA Knight. And I remember like what 3, 4, 5 months ago, you and I we made a we made a discussion about how LA Knight, like we were wondering if he's gonna be a main eventer, if he's for real. We want to see it in 5-6 months, which we're kind of here at the 5-6 month mark of this long dragged out build of LA Knight, and I think he's a main eventer. I think he's here to stay. I don't think he would have gotten the opportunity to punk out Roman Reigns the way he did by like stepping on his entrance, walking right past him, sitting at the head of the table, bringing up the suffering succotash stuff. Like, Roman's not going to allow people to do that if he doesn't see them to be, as a star. You know what I mean? We haven't really seen that. Only like Cena or Edge or Daniel Bryan or guys like that are already like main event level guys were able to get the better of Roman or able to take some slick shots at him, pal. So I think that says a lot about LA Knight.
No, 100%. And you're right about the format with the Roman Reigns stuff, because it would either be your Cesaros, if it was, I mean, not Ricochet, but just wrestlers who just are clearly not on the level, or legends who are not past it, like someone like Edge in 2021. He wasn't past it, but it's not like prime Edge. Same with Cena in 2021. It's John Cena, but it's not prime Cena. So Reigns is still like much higher as far as status, because he's in his prime power. So yeah, I see what you're saying there. I love this. I thought it was excellent. It totally proved me wrong. I'll admit to being wrong on the Roman thing. I was skeptical. I remember doing a whole bit, as you say, months ago, mocking like what Roman Reigns or what LA Knight say to Roman Reigns in this segment. Sticks and stones can break my bones, but LA Knight, yeah. Like I made a whole segment like that. That was off the mark from my part. I'd like to apologize on that end. What we got here was hilarious. My biggest takeaway was that the aura, the real like respect of the tribal chief it's dissipating fast. I think the fact that he doesn't show up for several months on end, that's happened 3 times this year with Roman, doesn't help. The fact that, this guy, I mean, he barely shows up. Who cares? That was what it felt like when he's about to raise the title, LA Knight, music hits, and he struts out with his like rock solid pumped up arms past Roman Reigns with his glasses, and Paul Heyman looked like that. It was just brilliant stuff. And then Roman flipping the table on him. It's great. I love what they're doing. They're clearly telling the story that I assume Roman will cheat to win a crown jewel. We'll discuss this in our preview, in a few days. And then you get to WrestleMania probably, and then Roman will be just outclassed and outgunned by Cody, it seems. So, yeah, it's good stuff. It's good stuff, pal. Thoroughly enjoyable segment. Great way to start SmackDown. Great way to introduce LA Knight as a legitimate main eventer, pal.
Yeah, do you agree with me? Do you agree with that statement that I said that LA Knight is here to stay, that he's for real?
I'd say so. And the question beckons as to sort of where to after this, because crown jewel. We don't assume LA Knight will win the title. You don't think he will. But
that brings up a great point. I want to say this before we move on. If LA Knight loses at Crown Jewel, we'll talk about this more in the preview. But is that the end of his main event run? Like, is that it? He runs into like the 2015 Cena wall. Like, all right, yeah, this guy is gonna be a mid carder now. He's gonna be living off his name in WWE. He'll be taking indie bookings in 3 years as whatever his name is, formerly known as LA Knight in WWE. Like, is that where we're headed? I don't know, but we'll talk about that more later on.
Well, Kevin, we know at this point we're all seasoned. We've all been watching all the pay-per-views, all the shows. You know how the match is going to go. Pretty much, it'll go about 20 minutes. Knight will dominate the first few minutes. Crowd will be into it. Roman will do his chin locks, talking to the camera, yada yada, beating him down. Get like 17 minutes in. LA Knight will start his flurry. Oh, there's a ref bump. Oh, it's Jimmy Uso. Like, you sort of know how the match is going to go. Probably some sort of screw job. Reigns will walk out, holding his chin, holding the title. He'll have his long hair everywhere. LA Knight will be like looking at the camera, being like, yeah, I should have a rematch. So it's probably going to be something to that effect. Do they do a rematch maybe on a SmackDown in December or something? Who knows? I think that'd be best. That'd be good for business. But as far as your question, I'd say he's here to stay. Going to 2024, probably a good performance in the Royal Rumble. I think something like him versus Logan Paul would be good. I think, Logan Paul, a guy like that's a sitting duck for someone like LA Knight to just rip apart. Logan Paul has a lot of dirty laundry, a lot of it. Dylan Dennis showed some of that, but Dennis is a clown. LA Knight in the wrestling space, because it's wrestling, is actually legitimate because it's not real. So it's going to be great. It's going to be excellent. I think that's a good way of going. I think LA Knight, I don't know. We'll see, Kevin. But from what we saw in this segment, there was a lot to be encouraged by. There's a lot to be a fan of there, pal.
Absolutely. LA Knight is definitively here to stay. He'll probably main event SummerSlam next year or something like that. We'll see where it goes. Maybe a WWE Championship run. We'll see. But yeah, so that's it for this little extra. And yeah, we'll talk to you guys in the next one.